Hi, this is Manal, and I cordially welcome you on behalf of Platinum Global Solutions to our series of online interview sessions. We are glad to and proud to have you as our keynote speaker at the upcoming conference in global information security. And thank you so much for taking our time from your busy schedule. Okay, so
Thanks a lot for having me.
before we quick start the interview session, I would like to have a brief introduction about you, your professional career, and the area of expertise in which you are working. Please.
Sure. First of all, thanks a lot for having me. It's been an honor, and I'm really excited for this conference forward. I've spoken at various conferences before, but this is like I guess among them most senior level. So I'm really excited and trying to bring a new perspective to it. So talking about me, currently I'm the co-founder and chief technology officer at Twimbit. Uh, Twimbit is a research company. It's a Singapore-based research company where we are using latest tools and technologies to create interesting and enjoyable research. So in like day to day, my job involves like taking care of the microservices architecture we have, taking care of the like security protocols and all these things, like typical CTO kind of role. Actually, I'm trying to still blend in myself with this role because I'm pretty new and young to this field. I have worked as a software developer before, but this is the first time it's in my entrepreneurial career to be leading such an amazing company as CTO.
Okay, amazing, amazing. Okay, so let's move on to our first question. So tell me, what do you think about the ongoing global pandemic situation and what is its impact on the businesses throughout the world?
Well, the most of the story, all of us know, like how pandemic has affected the way we used to operate in, like especially the businesses that were really dependent on in person kind of customer relations and such kind of things. But also at the same time, what I see that it has boosted another level of another type of businesses. For example, company like Amazon's, which has added like almost 80 billions to the worth of the richest persons. And we ourselves know what has happened in the last week, how Elon Musk, there is a battle between Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos to become the richest person, just because how fragile you know this situation is. So it can really make some businesses go surge a lot, and also like go totally blank. So what I felt about this is like it's really about like how much versatile a company can be, how much like time tested a company could be. That those companies are really the one that have really shined a lot. For example, to my surprise, if I don't know our viewers know this or not, Airbnb was a totally in person kind of company which hosted their all business were dependent upon the in person bookings, but due to pandemic I thought like they will be totally gone, right? But their CTO and their like the management team came up with the idea that how they can bring the virtuality concept by adding different personalities and letting them tour around in the different facilities in different geographies so that people can enjoy these places by sitting at home. So it was really about how creative companies could become in order to add a more diverse touch and handle the situation very well. Well, in our organization, it has been like I say, I don't consider this to be a bad thing. I consider this to be a very good thing, especially for startups, because I was an early believer that if a company can have its roots very strong with people in remote, then it can survive like any situation if even if it grows. And we know companies like Twitter, which has gone totally remote, and how well they are now doing. So I think it's both. I feel it's more good than bad. Let's see the brighter side of things. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so I'd like to know that what is your perspective on the current situation of the IT industry, and what's your forecast related to it? What is going to happen in the near future in the post-COVID era, if we say it?
I think, especially like we have seen how much companies' traffic have surged due to the presence of more digital users. Especially, we have seen how company like Google totally went down, right? And how like it was so much surprise to me that if a company like Google can went down due to the surge in their logs and traffic, then imagine about the normal companies that are dependent on digital businesses. But now the actual question is, when people start going back to offices and they get back to that normal traffic routine, how these companies get back into the budget management, so that now they are more kind of a mixed environment in which the excessive digitalization they have done, how they can stand onto those same circumstances and still benefit the organization. Just a minute, I guess there is some. And as you can see, I'm working from home also, so all these problems
No problem.
are coming in. But
really understand.
yeah, I think, but this one will go away when we get back to office.
Sure. Okay. So you were talking about the forecast. What's your forecast related to it?
I think virtual events will still become the new normal for companies to do. Especially our companies have also seen the benefits of doing virtual events, so that would keep on happening. And all the companies that are still like, especially companies use virtual events for customer acquisitions and those kind of things. So they should continue practicing the same field and like do these virtual concept. And also now we know how much digital first platform is important for every company. So every company should think how they can improvise on their customer experience, not in just offline mode but in also digital mode also. I see the companies which are in the domain of, for example, Zoom, event companies which provide digital presence, or customer experience companies. These companies will keep on adding more, and every company should have a very good digital first strategy for their company also.
Okay. Okay. Great. So what changes have you introduced in your company in terms of the operations, business strategies, and more importantly, how these changes are going to affect the future landscape of your company?
Well, first of all, I think in March we decided to come like cut all the in-office operations and go totally remote. So the first thing was, how do we keep the same level of productivity and same level of management inside the company? So we started using tools like Monday.com inside the organization on how we can utilize the full potential of automation, and how we can make sure that everything stays up to date and every person has the same level of access to these tools and technologies. So that thing has helped us a lot, and to my surprise we have increased our productivity by 120%. So the feature that usually took us to develop in 4 months or something, that reduced to almost 2.5 months. So that was very surprise to us. And turns out, when the employees are really not distracted, they are more focused towards developing the features. But that could be counterproductive too if a employee doesn't knows how to self-manage time, because now we see that there is no clear differentiation between what is office and what is home. So because both of these are blended. So there were some significant things that we put up in our policies in the companies, like having something called as no leave policy, where an employee can take off anytime, because if he wants that he's not feeling well, he should be able to switch off and like just like take rest. And the second one was the flexibility in the days they want to work, because the Monday to Friday scenario wasn't really important because everything was like in home. So we preferred that whenever you want to work, that flexibility we provided. Also, the way every task was logged and how the architecture was planned, especially the meetings. I'm the person who really brainstorms a lot during a new feature release or something. So now you don't have a board or a marker, then how do you actually convey the message? How do you tell every employee that this is the thing that everybody needs to be on the same page? So tools such as Miro, diagrams.net, and all these different whiteboard tools, including Teams, really helped us a lot in order to keep everything documented and intact for the people. Now, when we move toward in-office presence, I think I'll continue doing that. And our policy would be like having partial home and partial office. So like couple of days a week, we'll ask everybody to come so that, they can brainstorm and they can talk about stuff. But most of the time, we'll keep it flexible for them to work from their home.
Oh, that sounds really cool, actually. Okay,
Yeah.
so my last question: what are you expecting from this e-conference, and what valuable insights our audience can expect from your presentation session?
Well, I think, as I said in the starting, that this is among the most senior level conference that I'll be experiencing. So the gains that I'm thinking of from my end is basically to get more deeper knowledge from industry experts and domain experts of how their strategies work, and what audience can expect from me, that maybe I could bring a new, fresh vision into a more, stagnant and more mature kind of industry. When people talk about security, when people talk about architecture, you usually see people wearing coats and glasses, and kind of senior level people. So my perspective was more on how you can bring the freshness, how you can bring the customer experience on the first glance, of how you can make this process of security and architecture more enjoyable. So this is exactly what my talk is also based on: UX and security hand in hand. I figured out that current platforms doesn't provide that level of easy to use security features. Like at most they will have, like, of course, password policy and maybe two-factor authentication. But now you can see people are now moving towards magic link authentication based systems, or web auth, and which is using biometrics to log in into devices. So how we can provide that new age kind of security features along with the same level of security protocols to the people. So I think that's what I'm going to talk about, and I'm really excited towards it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Aman, for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you, and really look forward to hearing you at our conference. Good luck.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot for having me, and I'm really excited too.
Okay, bye bye.